Welcome back to the Go Read Sis podcast. My name is Katie.
And I'm Lexi.
And this is our January wrap-up and February hopeful video.
Yeah. Before we start into anything wrap-up or hopefuls, we're going to do our scripture of the episode. I'm literally just pulling this from the scripture or the scripture of the day, which is Matthew 18:12, and it says, "What do you think if a man has 100 sheep and one of them goes astray? Does he not leave the 99 and go to the mountain to seek the one that is astray?" Which I love.
Yeah, I love that verse so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
All right, so we're going to jump right into our wrap-up. I think we're just going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Cool.
What was the first book that you finished in the month of January?
Sorry, hey, I gotta go to Goodreads.
No, that's okay. I can do mine first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my first read of January was Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and I know, crazy. Started it in December, but I finished it in like the first week of January. I gave that book 5 stars. I'm not going to go too in-depth with what it was because if you've been here for any length of time, you've heard me talk about it and are probably sick of me. So yeah, we'll just keep going.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah, that's great. The first book I started and finished was King Cage, which is the 3rd book in the Red Queen series. I did give this one 4 stars. I felt this one was just a lot of build-up for the last book, so I liked it. It wasn't like my favorite, but yeah, 4 stars. It was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My next read was A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. It's French, so I don't know. And that was a YA fantasy that definitely, it was very slow and like heavy on like the world building, which I think was just not really what I was in the mood for at the time. So I had a harder time getting through that one, but I did give it 3 stars. It was like a good book, but I think it was just not what I really wanted at the time, so that's why I got a bit of a lower rating from me. But yeah, that was my next one.
Nice. The next book I read was My Life with the Walter Boys, which is by Ali Novak. I honestly started reading this because I wanted to watch the Netflix series, but wanted to read the book first. I gave it 3 stars. It was cute. I just didn't really feel super connected to any of the characters, so I was like, it's fine. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to a ton of people, and I wouldn't read it again, so that's why I just gave it 3 stars, but yeah, it was fine.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. My next read of January was Fairy Tale by Stephen King, and that was an adult fantasy. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. It was longer than I thought it was looking at it. I was not anticipating like how long it was going to take me to get through it, but it wasn't because of anything other than it was just a long read. Like, I was enjoying it the whole time. I really, really enjoyed the character development in it, and the world building was so good. Part of it, if any of you guys are looking to read it, it doesn't get into the actual fantasy elements until like over 200 pages in. Yeah, so just be prepared for, like, there's just a lot of buildup, but it's so necessary, and the like payout of it at the end is so worth the like process of learning everything that's going on in the beginning. Oh my gosh, I sobbed, like,
really?
Which is crazy.
Wow, I want to read it, I think.
It's good. It's not a thriller, I wouldn't say. There's some elements of it that are like a little bit spooky, but there's nothing really like super horror about it at all. I guess it's kind of adult, young adult. There's a lot of language in it, so if that bothers you, just be warned. But the main character is a kid, but some of the themes, like, you wouldn't, I mean, he's like 16, 17, something like that. Some of the themes you just wouldn't necessarily understand if you're like on the younger side, but like a high school level and up, I think it would be appropriate for.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. I really want to read that, but I feel like that might be something I want to read like in October.
Yeah, it might. might slump you out if you're already kind of in a weird, like, feeling a little
I don't
bit
think it'd be something for
slumpy.
me to read right now.
Yeah.
But, like, I do want to read it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, the next book I read was War Storm, which is the last book in the Red Queen series. I did give this one 5 stars. I love how it ended, and the war that she wrote in that was so unique and so cool. So I highly recommend that whole series to anyone. It is YA, clean, no spice, no swearing, nothing, and I just feel like everyone needs to read it, especially if you like dystopian.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm really sad to be done, but like really happy I finally read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have been, like, it's been on my radar for a while, but I need to be in the mood for a YA fantasy and, like, dystopian.
It's like fantasy dystopian.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just, like, have not been in the mood for that lately.
That's so valid. That's like all I've been in the mood for.
Yeah.
It put me in a slump, honestly.
Oh, no.
But it's fine.
Okay, my next one is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I did not rate this book. I just didn't feel like it was the kind of book that you put a star rating on. I did really, really, really enjoy it. It was very narrative. Definitely felt like her just kind of like sitting and telling me her story. I listened to this one on audio, so that really just like made it come alive for me. It's a very hard truth and like a hard reality, a lot of the stuff that happened to her and a lot of the stuff that she went through. So definitely, oh my gosh, please check the trigger warnings for this. If you are a young like female who has in any way struggled with an eating disorder, it could be very triggering for you. So just definitely be aware of that before you go into it. If you're in a good place like mentally and with your relationship with food and your eating and stuff like that, then that's like better. If you're not in a good place with your relationship with food, or like you're currently struggling with an eating disorder, just don't read it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
That's another one I've been like on the verge, like maybe, but I don't know. But maybe someday.
I think it's an important like thing to know. Like, just her story opens your eyes to a lot of things that we don't really talk about a lot about culture and like the TV world, especially with like child acting and stuff. Like, it's stuff that you just like don't think about that happens. And I think it's really important that she did tell her story and that people are aware of like what the outcome of that kind of thing is, because I don't know, it's I just think it's an important thing for us to be aware of. And
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't read anything that important, but
That's okay.
The next book I read was What the River Knows. I know I've talked about this on this, so I'll like keep it short. I gave it 5 stars. I loved this. It's like kind of like a heist meets Egyptian fantasy. It's clean. There's some swearing here and there, but it's YA, so you know, like high school to middle school. Like if you have a higher reading level or level of understanding to high school, and it's cool. Yeah, okay. I love that book. I cannot wait for the second one to come out.
I'm excited to read it. Okay. My next read was The Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. I gave this book 5 stars.
Is this your first 5-star of the year?
No, I've had 2 others.
Oh yeah, you've read
Ruthless Vows and
wow, that's a lot of 5 stars.
I have a lot of 5 stars in January.
You're generous this year.
I know.
Generous?
I don't know. I think I've just been like picking up books that I really want to read.
Yeah.
And that was like my goal going into this year, was like I don't care about anything else. I'm only going to pick up the books that I really want to read.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Totally interrupted you.
No, you're good.
I was like 5 stars.
I just like don't even have the words to like describe this book. It was, I think I talked about it in another podcast before this, so I don't need to go too far in depth, but it is a standalone Christian fiction, literary fiction, romance. Like it could be put into any of those genres. the romance is more subplot. You're following more the like main characters and their individual stories and their journeys and like their life. It is contemporary, so it's like modern. It's modern day. It's unlike anything that I've ever read, really, and it's not like any of the other books that I've read by Francine Rivers, like, at all. So, yeah, if you have tried to read Francine Rivers before but, like, couldn't get into her style of writing, this is very different from the other books that I've read by her. So,
Exciting.
maybe worth giving it a shot. Yeah.
Every time you say a book, I'm like, I really want to read that one, but
Yeah.
I really, like, I have that one on my Audible already. Like, I really want to read that one.
Yeah, it's so good.
I haven't read a Christian fiction book this year, and I wanted to read one a month, but I didn't pick one up last month, so I need to, and that sounds like something I want to read ASAP.
Yep, you'll love it.
Okay, the next book I read was The Serpents and Wings of Night. I believe it's a duology. I gave this one 3 stars. I would say it's like young adult, but maybe more in the middle of young adult to new adult. I would say like 18 or older. It's not spicy. Like, I gave it 2 chilies or 2.5 chilies because of like sexual tension, but there is swearing. There are like some mature themes. I don't think I'm going to continue the series. I just have a feeling it's going to get more spicy to a point where I'm not going to enjoy it. So I'm stopping after this book. But I did like it. I just didn't like it enough to want to keep reading. So
That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really valid. My last read of January was Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. I mean, I would say it's probably closer to like a 3.75, but
Round up.
we can go to 4 stars. The entertainment value for me just like, it tops everything else, because I think going into it, I know it's not supposed to be like good. It's supposed to be
Like outrageous.
Yeah. And like addicting. Like that's the point.
I cannot wait to read it.
Oh my gosh. I liked this one. I like, after reading it, I'm like, I can't even believe that I liked Magnolia Parks. Like, this,
Like the person or the book or both?
both.
Okay.
I'm like, this was so much better in my opinion. It's been a while since I read Magnolia Parks, but still, like, I can't believe I almost didn't keep reading. I was like considering after Magnolia Parks, like, whether or not I wanted to read the series. I am so glad I read Daisy Hates. Personally, I liked it a lot better than Magnolia Parks. I liked her character, and honestly, the rest of the characters a lot better in this one. And the storyline that it's following is way more high stakes, which I really liked, because Magnolia and BJ's story feels high stakes because their relationship has been through a lot. This is high stakes because she's in a gang. So it's like
literally high stakes.
Actually, like, her life is at stake every day. So
Interesting.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Love that.
It's so good. It's so good. Still no spice scenes. There is quite a bit of sexual tension though, and sexual language. So just like be aware of that, but she still does not write like descriptive scenes. It's just like what's happening in their heads, or like they will commentate. Because if you guys haven't read or heard about like anything in that universe, it's written as if it's written in each, like, in different characters' POVs, as if the character was talking to you or like writing in a diary. So it's like the character telling you their thoughts or feelings about things rather than like you actually reading what's happening.
Right.
Which I really am enjoying that style. The only thing that drove me a little bit crazy about Daisy Hates was that every time we were in Daisy's POV, she's like in school, and so I mean there's like a purpose to it, but it was annoying. She does like the thing where she'll do a number next to the end of like a line, or like she'll say something and there's like a little number, and then you're supposed to reference at the bottom of the page. So, and she does it every time we're in Daisy's POV, like a lot of the times anywhere from like 1 to 4 times a page. So you're like jumping up and down a lot. I wouldn't recommend listening to it or reading it on a Kindle because I think it would be hard to follow.
Okay.
Like pick up and read the
I
physical
feel like at that
copy.
point, why not just add the inserts into the sentence?
Yeah, I understand though. After like
Okay.
reading it and knowing Daisy, I get why it's like that.
Okay.
Especially because it's supposed to be like you're reading their diary. Like
Yeah.
that is pretty much how the whole thing is written. So
Right.
it makes sense why she did it. It just is a little bit annoying.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. The next book I tried to read was To Kill a Shadow. I did end up DNFing it at like 65% or 60%. It just, there was no build up to anything. No world building, no character development. The relationship had no development. It was like insta-love, but like annoying insta-love in my opinion. So I gave it 1 star. Because I did read more than 50%, I'm still adding it because I spent like 4 or 5 days on this book. Big waste of time, but that's okay. So I did DNF it, but that's okay.
That was your second DNF?
This is my first one.
That was your first DNF.
Yeah,
of
To
the
Kill
year.
a Shadow. It's the only one.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No. I also tried to read 10,000 Doors of January, and I stopped reading it. But I am gonna pick it back up. I just couldn't read something that wasn't fast paced, so that's why I put that down. But I'm not like fully DNFing it, so I didn't add it to my wrap up for January.
Okay,
Because I'm not done it. I'm just
Yeah,
Putting
just
it on
putting
hold.
it down right now.
Yeah.
I am the queen of that.
I don't usually do that. I was kind of sad to do it, but I was like, I cannot read this right now. I need something like fast.
Makes my mood reader heart so happy. Your mood reading.
It's not like me.
No, it's really not. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I did have one more read. It was Lady Macbeth. It's not out yet. It's by, hang on. Lady Macbeth by Ava Reed. It comes out August 6th. I did give it 4 stars. I really liked this book. I think I talked about it last podcast. I won't go too far into it, but I would call it like new adult, no spice, some language, but just the themes are really dark, and I would definitely suggest checking the trigger warnings. But it was a really good read, and I'm excited for it to come out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
I think you'll like it. I feel like it's something more up your alley than mine. It's like
Okay.
historical fantasy, and it's like a retell. It's a Macbeth retelling,
Yeah.
but like from Lady Macbeth's POV.
I love that.
Yeah, because she has like a voice and a name, and I won't say what the name is because like that's kind of a cool thing for like her to reveal what her name is.
That's cool.
Yeah, and there's like a fantasy element. There's a dragon in it, and I won't say anything else.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay. Out of that list, what was your favorite read?
Ooh, I think so mine were so different. So I don't know if I can pick between Ruthless Vows and The Masterpiece, to be honest with you.
Okay, so just say both. That's fine.
Both of those. Because they were so different. That
Yeah,
I
that's
can't,
fair.
Like, I can't decide which one out of those two is my favorite.
What was your least favorite?
My least favorite was A Winter's Promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Valid.
Unfortunate, but
It is what it is. Love that. I think my favorite, I would have to go with What the River Knows. And my least favorite would be To Kill a Shadow because I DNF'd it.
Yeah. Valid.
Yeah. What do we have next?
Your hopefuls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
I think
it.
you have more than I do. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I think everyone knows it's been a goal to read more classics, and that's the one I've been chugging along on. So
Perfect.
I'm going to finish it in February. Like, that's a fact.
Nice. Love this for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you. Why don't you just do all of yours and then I'll do all mine because I really do not have like hardly any.
Okay,
So you go.
sick. Yeah, next I have Zodiac Academy. Honestly, I have no idea who this is by. My husband read it, has been obsessed with the whole series, has been dying for me to read it. So I'm gonna read the first one. That's like high priority on my list for February. I'll probably finish it like the end of this week. So
Nice.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
awesome.
I'm doing all of them. Sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot.
No, that's okay.
Next, I want to read A Fragile Enchantment. It's by Alison Saft. I don't know too much about this. I got it in a book subscription box, so I didn't like pick it. It's just what came to me, and it looks really good. It's like about a dressmaker who makes like enchanted dresses, and she gets like commissioned to work for a wedding dress for like a royal wedding. So it's like fantasy romance, and like the edition I got, like without saying too much in case you get this box, it's like pink pages, so it just screams Valentine's Day.
Cute.
So I just like have to read it in February.
I love it.
And I'm so excited to read it. Next, I have Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen. I've read one or two of her books. She writes clean young adult romance, so I really wanted to read this because I feel like you need to read, well, you don't need to, but like I need to read romance in February because it's like the month of love. So I'm going to go with a Sarah Dessen book because they're usually safe, like on the spice scale for like, in my opinion. And I haven't read one of her books since I was in college.
Okay.
So I'm very excited.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know much about what this is about. I actually don't know anything what it's about. But I really like the other book. I've read one other book from her.
Okay.
And I really liked that one. So I'm excited to give this one a shot.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
And then lastly, I have Every Breath by Nicholas Sparks. Again, like the romance. It's romance, right?
Huh?
You just gave me a look like it's not.
Yeah, I thought that you had told me before that you tried to read it and you didn't like it, or that you did read it and you didn't like it.
I don't think I've read this one. I think I've only recently gotten it. This copy.
Really?
Yeah, Every Breath. Yeah, I haven't read this one.
Okay. Maybe I was talking to somebody else about it then.
Maybe.
I bet it was Brianna. Shout out if you're watching this. Did we talk about Every Breath? Let me know. Text me.
That's so funny. Yeah, I don't think I've ever tried to read this one.
Okay.
Kind of the same thing with Sarah Dessen. He writes romance. They're usually clean.
Every Breath is clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I haven't read one of his books in, gosh, like 2 or 3 years, I want to say. But I've liked every one I've read, so I don't know why. And I have like a whole bunch of them. So I'm gonna give Every Breath a go.
Nice. Yeah. I really liked that one. I read it a couple years ago.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Wow, there's something on your hopefuls that I have read. It's crazy.
Love it.
Okay, I am gonna preface this because you had so many, and
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. This is what I'm learning about myself. Actually, I've known this about myself, but I'm in trying to do these like hopefuls and TBRs and stuff. I have been like putting myself in a position where I feel like I have to read specific books because I'm doing like a TBR or like a hopefuls list.
Okay.
So I'm like almost like slumping myself out because I like don't
do these.
want to. Well, no, I want to do some. I want to do some because I do have goals. So I want to have, and I have a physical TBR that I need to like keep, taking chunks out of. So here's my thing with my hopefuls. I'm going to try and do like half or so of the number of books that I anticipate reading in the month. I will do as like hopefuls. I will list out like that number as hopefuls.
Gotcha.
And and I will make them from my physical TBR.
Okay.
Because I want to like, lessen the number of books on my physical TBR. I want to be able to buy more books, and I have not bought books since like, I don't know, December probably.
I haven't bought books in a long time either, and I have a gift card.
Yeah, I have gift cards too. And I bought books at the very beginning of the year, I think, but I haven't even been wanting to because I keep looking at my TBR shelf and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, there's just like so many books on there that I haven't read." So pro tip, if you're struggling with like buying too many books, separate your books that you haven't read yet and make yourself stare at them every day, because that is a great motivation for me to read off of my TBR and not go buy more books. But anyways, I want to list just a couple of books from my physical TBR for each month that I'm hoping to read in that month. That way I get myself to still read the books on my physical TBR, but I also give myself like wiggle room to be able to mood read, because if I'm not mood reading, I'm just not having a good time.
You're doing something wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so my books that are on my hopefuls list this month, my big one is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I did not get to it last month. In January. Yeah, last month. Yeah. I have not been in a fantasy mood, so I just have not, I picked it up and I really even, liked the first 30 pages or whatever that I read, but it was I'm just not in the mood for this. So I put it down. So it's the only book on my list that is a fantasy on my hopefuls. That's a fantasy. So I'm like, okay, when I'm in a fantasy mood, that's the book that I'm going to pick up.
There you go.
Yeah. And then my other two are both romance because it's February and I have both of them on my physical TBR and have been wanting to read them for a while. One of them is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This is Sarah Adams, from what I understand, is a pretty clean author and like just doesn't write spice in her books. When in Rome is also like a super short book. Like I think it's like 200 pages or
I need that in my life.
yeah, right? Yeah, it's like 200 or 250 pages, something like that. It's very short. And it's cute. It's like the premise is like a pop star meets, like she's a pop star and he is like I think he's like a baker in like a small town.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so it's very like Hallmarky,
Oh
like
my gosh.
cutesy,
I'm obsessed.
swoony romance. So
You have to
yeah.
let me know how it is.
I definitely will. And then my next one, or my last one, is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I've had it on my shelf since we did the Christmas episode and we exchanged them. Yeah. And I've been really dying to read it. And honestly, I've been in the mood for it, but I've been pushing it back because I've been trying to force myself to read other things.
But now it's the month of love.
And now it's the month of love, so I can read all the romance books that I've been in the mood for. So yeah,
that.
I'm excited. It'll be my first Ali Hazelwood, so we'll see how I like it.
Yeah. That's so exciting.
But yeah, those are my hopefuls for February.
Nice. That's a good list. I like what you'll give yourself some room to like.
Yeah, because like I read 6 books last month, and I've already, I guess I can. It's the very beginning of February, and I already finished one book.
Hey, look at you go.
I know. I finished it last night. Justin got home and I had 50 pages left in my book and I was like, Justin,
Don't talk to me.
I have 50 pages left. And he's like, do you want to stay up and finish your book? And I was like, yeah. So like literally he was like, okay, but will you finish it in bed? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, will you scratch my back while you finish it in bed? And I was like, yeah. It's like, all right, deal.
Then I'm in.
And then he like rolled over. He let me keep the lights on and everything. He was like,
Wow.
just give me your back scratches and I'll be happy. So I stayed up for an extra like, I don't know, 45 minutes to finish.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was good.
I love that.
Yep.
Ryan does the same stuff. I like reading and he's like, but I want attention. And I'm like, the only attention you get is silent. Back scratches.
Back scratches. Thankfully for Justin, it's like his favorite thing in the world is to get back scratches. So
Yeah, Ryan's too.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow. They must be twins.
Wow, no way. They must be twins. That's crazy.
That's so funny.
Do we have anything else for our episode
I
today?
don't think we had anything planned, but this question did just pop into my mind.
Okay.
Do you prefer to read romance like in February or summer? Like summer vibey romance, or do you feel more pulled toward romance in February?
I feel very pulled toward romance over the summer. I feel like I think last summer I read like all romance
Exclusively.
all summer. Yeah. I do think in the month of February I have more of a pull to romance than like any other of the winter months.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more still of like a summer romance.
Beachy vibe.
Yeah, the beachy.
Yeah. I feel like I
yeah.
like different kinds of romance for Valentine's Day versus
Yes.
like anything Christina Lauren is summer to me.
Yeah.
I have
think
like
so, too.
3 books on my shelf from her that I haven't read yet. I'm like, I can't. Like it's
It's not summer. Yeah. Same with that's Emily Henry.
45 degrees out.
That's Emily Henry. Anything by Emily Henry. I will
I
only read
almost
it
picked
in
up
the summer.
Book Lovers again.
Really?
Yeah, but I was like, same thing. I'm like, no, like this is a summer. You have to read Happy Place this summer.
I know. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
But yeah, and then like I feel like for Valentine's Day, I like cozy romance.
Okay, yeah. I like to go outside of the typical like beachy, like that kind of stuff for Valentine's Day. That's why I'm doing like the Love Hypothesis is like a STEM kind of situation. So that one is like out. I don't think I would be pulled towards like a sciencey like workplace.
I wouldn't want anything with school or science during summer.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. When in Rome,
Not that I'm in school, but
yeah. No, but still. When in Rome, I think could be a summary read. I'll let you know after I read it, but
like I sometimes will pick up like a summer romance at a different time of the year, but like I enjoy them most like reading by the pool.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Very specifically.
That is like what I read by the pool.
I cannot wait like for this summer to like read by the pool every day after work. And I mean every day.
I love that.
I'm so excited.
I wish I didn't get out of work at like 8 p.m. Otherwise, I would be doing that.
Well, you can go before
I
work.
can go in the morning, yeah.
Yeah.
Get my morning sun instead.
Like do some yoga by the pool.
No way. Some of my neighbors are a little creepy.
Oh, okay. Maybe not then. Do the yoga at home.
Yeah,
And
do
then go
yoga
right
at
by
home
the
and
pool.
then go to the pool. Yeah.
Love. I'm like, I've never been tan a day in my life, but I'm saying it now in February. I will be tan this summer.
Amen.
That's it. And we
I
can
will
end the
believe
episode
that
there.
with you.
I might be in Delulu land about that. I might be red, not tan, but I'm gonna be in the sun as much as I.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
I love that.
So,
for you.
and where are your SPF kids? Like.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
For our quick little wrap up and hopeful video / audio. If you're just listening to it, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you would call it.
Yeah.
That's the sound. Anyway, we're so happy that y'all hang out with us every week. We love ya. If you love us back, please
tell us.
Please tell us. Yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Give us 5-star rating on Spotify.
Yes.
Follow us at goread.sis on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok.
Yeah.
And have a fantastic Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.